Tim Hardaway Jr. is a player that's given fans heartbreaks, headaches, highs, lows, and everything in between ever since he became a Dallas Maverick, being a starter on this team and our second or third scoring option, to getting pushed to the end of the bench, racking up DNPs, and barely seeing the floor at all in this most recent playoffs. But we do have reports that show that the Dallas Mavericks are actively searching for a trade target for Tim Hardaway Jr., and we also have a weird little update from his father on an Instagram post that may show that Tim Hardaway Jr. may have felt the same way as his father. But in this video, we're going to break down all these reports, as well as some potential trade targets for the Dallas Mavericks if we are to move Tim Hardaway Jr., as well as take a closer look at that Instagram post from his father and trying to see what was really going on. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. Before we get started with today's video, as always, you guys have been doing a great job of just smashing that bell notification, join the notification gang, but we are on the road to, let's get about 10%. If 10% of you guys can hit that bell, that would just be great for me. It's the off season, but it's not my off season. I'm bringing you guys content every day, nonstop, as we cover everything that the Mavericks want to do this summer. And if you don't want to miss out on a single thing that we do, make sure you hit that notification bell. But like I said in the intro, this video is about Tim Hardaway Jr. He's a player who's given us great moments where he was scoring just magnificently in the first half of the season. He was running for the Sixth Man of the Year award. He was a player that was really useful for this team, at least for the first half of the season. And for the last few seasons, he was also just in our rotation. He was a starter. He was a reliable scorer. But the truth about Tim Hardaway Jr. is that he is just very, very streaky. He has high highs, low lows. He can give you good points in one game, and for the next 10 games, just go ice cold. We saw in the NBA Finals where he actually set a record for most threes in a quarter, which is very odd for a player who was getting DNPs, who was just getting pushed to the end of the bench. And we saw at the trade deadline, we got PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. A few players were shifted from their starting role or even being off the bench to just DNPs, and Tim Hardaway Jr. was one of those players. If we just take a closer look at Tim Hardaway Jr.'s stats for the season, he averaged 14.4 points, 3.2 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 0.1 block, 0.5 steals, 0.9 turnovers a game, shooting 40% from the floor and 35% from three. He shoots 39% on corner threes, 85% of his threes are assisted, while 61% of all shots are threes. And I think that last stat there is pretty crazy to think that Tim Hardaway Jr. shoots more threes than any other shot, where if you watch him play some of his middies, sometimes when he just attacks the basket, it's a good shot. He can do that. But for whatever reason, Tim Hardaway Jr. thinks he's Steph Curry and just wants to shoot lights out. Now, if I were to show you these numbers and not show Tim Hardaway Jr.'s face and not tell you that these are his numbers, you would think, wow, that's a pretty good solid role player, someone that could potentially be a starter or at least come off the bench and give you some minutes. But it's Tim Hardaway Jr. We know the truth about him, that he's not going to give you the best every single game. Now, he may go out there and try his best, but the results very much vary. It's not always going to be exactly what you need when you need it. And in the finals, when guys just weren't hitting their shots, Jason Kidd had no choice but to go to Tim Hardaway Jr. for some kind of answer. And that answer just wasn't found. But like I said in the intro, we do have an update that it says that it sounds like Tim Hardaway Sr. is excited for his son to get traded by the Dallas Mavericks this offseason. Now, this is the Instagram post that we're going to talk about. I had to actually go to Instagram. I wanted to find the actual post itself and find the comment. I want to make sure that it was legit and not just some Photoshop mess, right? But in the picture that Tim Hardaway Sr. posted was of his son just saying, congratulations on the season. I'm so proud of you. You'll get him next year. And a fan jumped in the comment section saying they shopping him after this season. Tim Hardaway Sr. responded saying, yes, they are. And we want to have a new opportunity to shine. We didn't like what happened. We are ready to go. Using a lot of we there. So he's not really speaking for himself. He's speaking for Tim. Now, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. I've never once said that Tim Hardaway Jr. is a reflection of his father and that his father's voice and opinions don't reflect his son. But if he's saying we, us, saying that him and his son both feel the same way, then did Tim Hardaway Jr. feel this way all season? I mean, it doesn't feel good if you're a starter on a team, someone that the team trusts, that you see that your role is getting just replaced by another player, your minutes are going to someone else, you're getting pushed into the bench. Of course, no one would like that. Especially with Tim Hardaway Jr., he is an older player, he's in his 30s, he feels like, hey, I'm a vet, I have a lot to offer. And that's how a lot of players should feel. But the truth of the matter is, it just isn't there. We gave Tim Hardaway Jr. like 19 minutes in one of the games in the finals where he just couldn't even rack up a foul. Had 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, couldn't even commit a foul in 19 minutes. So it's very odd if this is all true that Tim Hardaway Jr. feels just the way his father does. Maybe, just maybe, that makes it easier for us to actually trade him because he's on that $17 million contract, or at least he's owed $17 million this year in his expiring contract. And we talked about in the last few videos that Tim Hardaway Jr. might be a trade piece for a player that we actually like, as that expiring contract opens up cap space for a lot of other teams. But if we look at the report, the Mavericks are shopping Tim Hardaway Jr. in hopes of finding a rotational upgrade. Hardaway will be on a $16.2 million expiring contract, was phased out of Dallas rotation in the playoffs. So like I said, Tim Hardaway Jr., $60 million is going to free up cap space for any team that might need to pay another guy or might want to go out and get someone else in the following seasons. And yeah, he was phased out of our rotation. We played more of Jaden Hardy over Tim Hardaway Jr. We played more Josh Green over Tim Hardaway Jr. And I'd argue a lot of those times, Jaden Hardy and Josh Green gave you quality minutes. I mean, I always talk about Josh Green. I call him Hustle Man. Hustle Man Green was out there giving you quality minutes. And Jaden Hardy, in certain moments, showed you that in the future he could develop into a very good guard for this team. The way he attacks the basket, the way he just drives down the court without any regard for anybody. Sometimes you feel like it's selfish, but that's just the confidence that Jaden Hardy has. And from both those players, Jaden Hardy and Josh Green, I liked what I saw. I think a lot of people liked what they saw. But when it comes to Tim Hardaway Jr., I feel like a lot of people cringe whenever they see him on the court. But if we are going to be shopping Tim Hardaway Jr., which I'm sure that this team has been shopping for a while, I don't think this is really just breaking news and, oh my gosh, we're shopping Tim. No, I'm pretty sure we've always been shopping Tim. But what could that trade potentially look like? I couldn't get into the lab this morning. I didn't really cook up nothing, but I did find a few trades online that may look a little bit good for the Dallas Mavericks. One right here is Malik Beasley. Malik Beasley is expected to leave the Bucks in free agency. Beasley, who shot 41.3% on threes this season, will attract plenty of attention from contending teams. I think Malik Beasley could be a perfect replacement for Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm not sure if the Bucks are a team that we could send Tim Hardaway to, but if we can somehow just get Malik Beasley as he just leaves the Bucks in free agency, trade him somewhere else, we could pay Malik what we're paying Tim Hardaway. I'm totally fine with that. 41% on threes. He was averaging 6 attempts a game. That's at least 3 or maybe 4 threes a game that you can just guarantee from Malik Beasley. We know Luka can shoot threes, Kyrie can shoot threes, Josh Green is very good from the corner. PJ, whenever he decides to shoot threes, he can shoot threes, right? But having another three-point shooter is a big thing that everyone's talking about. We saw how in the finals, our three ball just could not find the basket. Malik Beasley could potentially help this team even further, but I'm not too sure what he's looking for. He's been somewhat of a journeyman. I'm not sure if he's looking for a big payday, a big contract. He is 27 years old, so that really fits our timeline, as a lot of our guys are 25 or younger, where Kyrie, being 32, is one of our older players. Malik Beasley could be a pretty good fit. I don't know about you guys, but I would like it if we could get him in free agency where we don't have to even trade for anything. But an actual trade regarding Tim Hardaway Jr. could be for Bogdan Bogdanovic. Bleacher Report trade idea: Dallas Mavericks receive Bogdan Bogdanovic. Atlanta Hawks would receive Tim Hardaway Jr., Olivier Maxence Prosper, the number 58 pick, 2025 first round pick, top 8 protection, turns into 2 second rounders if not conveyed. I'm not too big on this because I don't want to give up Omax, and I'm not too sure about that first round pick. Obviously, Bogdan Bogdanovic is a great scorer for the Atlanta Hawks. I think that he would fit very seamlessly into what the Dallas Mavericks have. I said it many times. We get guys open. One of our biggest problems is that guys just don't shoot, or they shoot threes. They just don't make the wide open threes. Luka and Kyrie do a very good job of getting guys open. Their passing is amazing. The playmaking is excellent, but they just don't knock them down. Bogdan Bogdanovic would be great for this team. A great offensive asset, pretty decent on the defensive end, and it would just and it wouldn't mess up what we're doing. That's why I said seamlessly. I don't think Bogdan Bogdanovic would ruin our rotation, wouldn't throw anybody off. You could just slide him in as a starter for sure. Maybe off the bench if you feel like it, but I think he would definitely be a starter on this team. It would add just more three-point shooting, more scoring options. So whether we get Malik Beasley in free agency or if we trade for Bogdan Bogdanovic, we have some options that Nico Harrison will definitely have to explore. And as always, it's in Nico we trust. He's done many great trades and great moves for this team so far. And I believe that now, even though Mark Cuban really isn't in the picture anymore, he has free reign to do whatever he sees fit. And I think that he's going to do right by this team. But that's all I got for you guys today. We are going to be dropping videos every single day. We're going to be covering all the rumors, all the news, everything Mavericks related. Make sure you hit that bell notification and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing. Check out our Twitter and Discord, links in the description below. We are doing another channel giveaway. The winner will be announced in the first week of July. The only way to enter our giveaway is to become a channel member of any tier. And as always, make sure you drink water. Peace.